All right, everyone, welcome to Jasper's History Facts. Today is August 22nd, and on this day in 1485, Henry Tudor, future King Henry VII, defeated the Yorkish king Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field, effectively ending the Wars of the Roses. So the Wars of the Roses are mainly between the House of Tudor and the House of the Plantagenet, which is not what they called themselves. They would call themselves the Angevins, but that's a whole other story. Henry Tudor is obviously the head of this Tudor family, and he defeats Richard III and becomes king, Henry VII. His son, actually, is probably one of the most famous kings in all of history, Henry VIII, but we're not there quite yet. The Battle of Bosworth Field, super important to, obviously, English history. The Plantagenets, who had been in charge of England for quite a while at this point, finally being deposed fully and being replaced with the Tudors. They're both kind of part of the same family. You gotta remember, a lot of these royals, they're all parts of the same family, but it's just, oh, well, they claim to be different, and they claim to be different in this way and that way. You know, just how old royalty used to do things. Henry was actually a decent military commander to some degree. He's kind of forgotten about, I would say, mostly because his son is so famous, which his son wasn't even supposed to be king. Henry VIII's brother, he had an older brother named Arthur. He was supposed to become king, but he died before he became king, and so then it was Henry VIII that became king. But Henry VII defeated Richard's army, and it's a pretty big deal because the Wars of the Roses have been going on for quite a while at this point. These families had both claims to the throne, and so finally ending these wars, it ends the kind of civil war, sort of, that is going on in England, which helps then solidify the rule of the crown and make it more consolidated after all this unrest. But there's actually a very famous book series and TV series that is heavily influenced by these Wars of the Roses, Game of Thrones. So there you go. Now you know.